say, why are they not going to those countries where these people are not safe or where these people are coming from seeking asylum status in South Africa to force those countries to have inclusive laws?
This morning, Operation New Broom from the Department of Home Affairs swept through Sandton in Johannesburg, where dozens of illegal immigrants were arrested for deportation. Our commitment is to the rule of law, and our message remains clear. If you are in South Africa illegally, voluntarily self-deport now, because if we catch and deport you, we will also ban you from re-entering South Africa legally in future.
Hello and welcome to South Africa Simplified. Today, we will be looking at a bittersweet and controversial story. Please watch till the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts on the comment section. Thank you. It was the deadline that thousands prayed would be extended. But when the sun rose on the 1st of April 2026, the silence from Pretoria was deafening. The concession that had allowed thousands of foreign nationals to remain in South Africa while waiting for their visa outcomes officially expired on the 31st of March. Overnight, legal status turned into legal limbo.
Is also the reason why I can proudly tell this House today, you ain't seen nothing yet. Engagement Authority, in collaboration with the South African Revenue Service, is currently expanding facial recognition cameras to all international airports and major land ports. Once this is complete, we will scale up the ETA to eliminate visa fraud, ensure that biometrics are recorded for every foreigner who enters South Africa, and enable legitimate tourists and travelers to obtain visa outcomes digitally within 24 hours. At the same time, the preparatory work for the public-private partnership to physically rebuild the 6 busiest land ports of entry is nearing completion, with an announcement to follow shortly. Speaker, these reforms, coupled with the President's announcement of more labour inspectors and greater funding for border management, as well as the proposals contained in the draft white paper on citizenship, immigration and refugee protection, lays the foundation for major progress against illegal immigration and illicit trade this year.
This time, the government's tone has shifted from administrative delay to active enforcement. The Minister of Home Affairs, Leon Schreiber, has issued a chilling warning that is rippling through migrant communities from Yeoville to Cape Town: self-deport now, or face the consequences. This isn't just rhetoric. For the first time in years, the department is linking the April price shock, the rising cost of fuel and food we discussed in our last video, directly to the strain on state resources. The narrative is clear: South Africa is tightening its belt, and the guest list is being cut. We are seeing reports of people who have lived here for years, working in our restaurants, teaching in our schools, now terrified to leave their homes because their pending status is no longer a shield. If they cross a border post now, they risk being declared undesirable and banned for up to 5 years. The door hasn't just closed, it has been locked from the inside. While the visa officers are freezing people out, the physical border is heating up. This is the domain of the Border Management Authority, the BMA. In April 2026, they released staggering numbers that paint a picture of a fortress South Africa under construction since the Government of National Unity, NU, took power. 109,344 illegal immigrants have been deported. That is a 46% surge in just 2 years. Dr. Michael Masiapoto, the BMA commissioner, is running what looks less like a border check and more like a military operation. We've confirmed the deployment of new, sharp amphibious vehicles at Beitbridge, tanks that can drive through the flooded Limpopo River to intercept crosses. We are seeing drones with thermal imaging patrolling the vulnerable corridor between Zimbabwe and South Africa 24/7.
50 officials working at South Africa's ports of entry now having been dismissed as the Border Management Authority intensifies efforts to root out corruption at the country's ports of entry. BMA says some employees were involved in schemes that allowed undocumented travelers to enter the country illegally and illegally extend their stay.
But the real fight isn't just against those trying to get in, it's against those letting them in for a bribe. In a massive corruption crackdown this month, 50 border officials were dismissed for corruption. The message from the GNU is simple: if you sell a stamp, you lose your job. This militarization is popular with voters, but it raises a logistical nightmare. With 26,000 people intercepted just over the recent festive season, where do we put them? Our Dudula repatriation center is bursting at the seams. We are building a fortress, but we are running out of space for the prisoners. Behind the barbed wire, a silent war is being fought with paper. The Cabinet has officially approved the revised white paper on citizenship, immigration, and refugee protection. This is the most radical overhaul of our immigration laws since 1994. The centerpiece. The first safe country principle. Here is how it works. Under the old system, an asylum seeker from a war-torn country could travel through 3 or 4 stable countries, like Zambia or Mozambique, to reach South Africa and claim asylum here because we have the strongest economy. The new law says, no. If you pass through a safe country to get here, you must claim asylum there, not here. South Africa is resigning as the refugee camp of the continent. This effectively disqualifies tens of thousands of applicants instantly. Furthermore, the White Paper proposes repealing the separate Refugee Act and Citizenship Act, merging them into one strict law. It introduces a points-based system for citizenship. It doesn't matter if you've lived here for 10 years, if you don't have the critical skills or investment capital the economy needs, the path to citizenship is dead. The automatic right to stay is gone. While politicians debate white papers, the streets are boiling over. We are seeing a resurgence of Operation Dudula and new movements like the March and Marched group in Durban. In March 2026, these groups brought the Durban CBD to a standstill. Their demand: stricter laws and mass deportations. But look closer at the footage. This isn't just about xenophobia, it's about desperation. In our last episode, we spoke about the 17 rand per litre diesel price and the cost of living crisis. When local South Africans can't afford bread, and they see a foreign national working a job they think they could do, the tension becomes explosive. We are seeing citizen raids on small businesses, spaza shops and salons, demanding to see papers. The police are caught in the middle. If they intervene, they are accused of protecting illegals. If they stand back, they risk mob justice. The tragic irony. The foreigner they are chasing might be a legal visa holder who is just a victim of the Home Affairs backlog. But on the street, there is no due process. There is only anger. This brings us to the endgame. Why is this happening now? It is the GNU's political tightrope. The Democratic Alliance, holding the Home Affairs portfolio, needs to show its voters that it can restore law and order. That is why we see the harsh rhetoric and the self-deport ultimatums. But the ANC needs to maintain stability in its relationships with fellow African nations. They are walking a fine line. For the immigrant community, Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, Congolese, the silence is terrifying. The department admits it has a backlog. They admit there are printing errors delaying visas. Yet, they remove the safety net of the March 31st concession. Thousands of people are now technically illegal through no fault of their own. They can't access bank accounts. They can't register their kids for school. They are now ghosts in the system. South Africa in 2026 is a country trying to close the gate after the horse has bolted. The immigration reset is real. The borders are harder, the laws are stricter, and the public patience is thinner than ever. If you are a foreign national in South Africa, the advice from experts is clear: get legal or get out. The grey area is gone. And for South Africans, the question remains: will deporting 100,000 people actually lower the price of petrol or fix the water crisis? Or have we just found a convenient distraction for our own economic pain? Let's continue this debate in the comments. Is the white paper a necessary protection of sovereignty, or a betrayal of our African roots?